Teddy, has anybody ever told you that you look like an alien when you eat treats? Are you eating your feelings? Yeah, I'm pissed off too. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah and I make videos about health and fitness and all of those things, endurance sports. So if that's something that you're into, well, you should hit all of the buttons. You should know where they are by now. If you really can't find them, I'm pretty sure you can find a 12-year-old that can help you. All right, they're right down there. Right? No. Good job. Thanks for coming. But today's video is an impromptu video, completely unplanned, but yet again, I stand before you covering up my nasty workout hair and my fantastic TTL hat. Shout out to Eric and Paula. If you haven't seen the That Triathlon Life YouTube channel, you should check them out. Good stuff, but completely unrelated. But today I want to talk about a source of frustration coming from the Zwift Academy for me. I know, very shocking that I would be frustrated with something on Zwift, especially when it stems from, wait for it, lack of communication. But it came from something that I was completely not expecting, and what should have been the easiest part of this entire academy, and that's the recovery rides. And while I have some complaints about the actual recovery rides themselves, which I'll cover in a debrief video for the entire academy, this is actually about getting credit for the recovery rides. Now, I went through an introductory video with all of you. I've read through the material on the website. I've read through the frequently asked questions. I've read through the Zwift Insider articles by Eric Schlange. I think I'm probably better prepared than most people to go through this academy. In fact, I did a whole video to try to demystify the baseline ride that was catching the majority of users off guard. But I got caught off guard anyway for these recovery rides because it says everywhere that you need to do 2 recovery rides. That's it. Out of the 10 events that you need to complete, 2 of them are recovery group rides. You have to perform them as a group. You have to sign up for them in the events tab. You have to ride through the entire 45-minute event. Done and dusted, right? No, absolutely not. Apparently, there are 2 different recovery rides. Now, God knows how we are supposed to know that because it doesn't say that in the overall directions. It doesn't say that in the frequently asked questions. It doesn't even say that in the recovery rides that are available right now in the companion app. If you look and sign up for a recovery ride, as of the date of making this video, September 21st, 2021, they are called recovery ride. That's it. You can read through the directions in the recovery ride information on the companion app. It says nothing about this being for block 1 only. It only says that it's a recovery ride. It speaks to the purpose of the recovery ride and the recommended intensity, but that is all that it says. So we are all going through this academy expecting that we are getting credit for each deliverable that we complete. So we did the baseline ride, right? First couple of weeks, most of you have gotten that done. We've gone through all of the workouts or getting through some of those workouts, and then we have to do 2 recovery rides. So I did one of my recovery rides last week. I believe I did it before workout number 5. That was the first one that was available. I think it was done on a Monday. I got through, did it, got my credit, no problem. We are good to go. Then I did another one the next day. I wanted to do a bit of an endurance extension, so I figured I'd pick up the credit for the second recovery ride, and I was going to be working into workout number 5 and 6. Because the recovery rides were not available when I was done with block 1, I figured I would just maybe double dip a little bit. Well, a couple days later, I was looking on the companion app, and I realized that I hadn't gotten credit for the second recovery ride. All right, shit happens. I'm not going to go through all of the effort to open up a support ticket and bitch and gripe about getting credit for recovery ride because recovery rides are a good thing. The fact that the course sucks is completely notwithstanding to my point here. But doing more of the recovery rides is actually okay. So signing up for a group ride, it wasn't super inconvenient for me to sign up for another one. In fact, I did it today. I'm recovering from a little bit of costochondritis. Couple of days, so I figured I'd come back a little bit easy from a rest day yesterday, just do an endurance ride, and I would just do that in the event. No big deal. I'd do it again. I'd get credit. Great. I'm good to go, and I'll have my credit, and all I have to do is the finish line ride that'll be available next week starting the 27th. I go back into my companion app. I'm right on the main screen at the end of my ride. What the hell? I'm still only at 80% complete. Why am I not getting credit for this ride? So I finally do open up a support ticket because I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is really weird. It says I have to do 2. I've now done 3. They're all saved. There's nothing wrong with my data. Why am I not getting credit for these rides? So I put in a support ticket. And then incidentally enough, I go cruising around back on the page and I'm looking for descriptions. I'm trying to find out if anybody else is having this problem yet. And it might be a little bit early for people to be sounding off on this one. But then I find if you go into the Academy website, you actually have to go into the workout block number 2 and you have to search for a recovery ride. And when you search for a specific group ride, not a group workout, and you look for the dates that are available, what I find is that the first available date is on October 3rd. So I don't know why they've done this and put it so that you don't get credit for just any recovery ride, that they have to be 2 separate ones. But they didn't even name the recovery ride so that you would know that there was a 1 and 2. I mean, how did they not expect a disaster to come out of this? I've been on the platform for 6 years. I've participated in these academies since 2016. I mean, I'm an idiot. Okay, let's be clear on that. But when it comes to this stuff, I'm pretty thorough, especially when I'm making videos about this stuff to help new people navigate through this program. And then I'm finding out through some obscure portion of the website, and let's face it, most people are not searching for events on the website. They're using the companion app, and the companion app is really not reliable more than maybe 7 to 10 days out. If you start to go look into next week's schedule, you're not going to find the full litany of events. You'll only see a lot of the Academy events, but you're not going to go all the way out 2 weeks, scroll through obnoxiously on the app and try to find the events from October 3rd. I think that this was a huge miss because, first of all, why are you going to gatekeep recovery rides? That doesn't make any sense to me. I encourage recovery rides. People should be encouraged to do more of them. I understand that you're trying to slow down the progression, but it seems a little bit silly to really dig your heels on the recovery ride, especially because my second point is I can do the finish line ride on Monday, the 27th of September. So you're telling me that I can actually complete the program. This is what I'm getting. Ostensibly, I can complete the program with the finish line ride on the 27th, which should be my final ride. That's going to be available on Monday. But I cannot actually graduate because I'm being hung up on a recovery ride that's not available for another week after I've done the finish line ride. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? So you have a twofold problem. One, shitty communication. I know. We're all gobsmacked at this point that this is communicated and rolled out pretty poorly. But two, why would you throttle back that recovery ride after the finish line ride? If anything, introduce the last recovery ride next week, starting the 27th, and push the finish line out until the 3rd. But you're kind of stuck with it now. You've already put the finish line rides on the calendar. So now we're kind of stuck in this suboptimal situation. And I'm not saying this to be egotistical, but if I got jammed up on this, it's a very high likelihood that the vast majority of people on Zwift are getting jammed up by this. People who are experienced were getting jammed up on the baseline rides. This is more obscure than that. You know, I kind of put the onus on some of the people who got jammed up on the baseline ride, not because they couldn't find the segments, but because they literally did not read the directions at all. Well, even if you do read the directions, you're still going to do this wrong because there's nothing to tell you other than this one little sidebar that most people don't use to sign up for their events to tell you that those recovery rides aren't available. So at this point, I'm just venting because not that I'm frustrated with the waste of time, because it wasn't a waste of time. I had to do the endurance ride anyway. It doesn't matter if I'm in a group ride or not. But it frustrates me because this is what causes an abundance of confusion. This is what causes people to get jammed up, that causes them to get frustrated with Zwift, that causes them to abandon the program and not want to follow through, especially because I've gotten feedback from some of you who are kind of a little bit off kilter with your time zones and when these events are available, because the baseline, finish line, and recovery rides are on an every 2-hour cadence. So for some of you, based on your work and life schedule, they're not falling into place at an opportune time. So many of you are having to shoehorn those into your life routine, and maybe you've put something on hold, or you are going on the bike later than you'd really like to accommodate the event schedule. And then you're going to do this to finish your second recovery ride, and you're not going to get credit for it. So that's really frustrating to me, and I think Zwift needs to do better. Now, I'll give them credit for doing some improvements to the baseline ride midway through the academy, probably too little too late, but maybe they can fix this now. Maybe they can just change the name at least to recovery ride number 1 to give people some kind of visual indication that, oh, there's going to be another one. So I can't just do 2 of these, and I'm not going to be glutting up the support tickets with not getting credit for recovery rides. So I wanted to let you guys know who are participating in the Academy that this is what's going on, that there's actually 2 different rides. I don't know if they're going to have different names, but keep an eye out for the one starting on October 3rd. If they introduce some earlier based on feedback, great. If not, just understand that so you're not kind of switching your life around. You can do recovery rides any way that you want. The more recovery rides, the better, but it doesn't mean you have to do them as a group. So I don't want you to get jammed up or to rearrange your schedule around Zwift's schedule just to not get credit towards the graduation that I know many of you are looking for. So if you found this helpful, please hit that thumbs up button, especially for a video like this one. It helps to push it out in front of more Zwifters so that they can see that before they are getting jammed up themselves. Subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. See ya.